Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 35, night 8. We are already at night 8, and I think there's 11 or 12 nights left of the tournament, and I'm still pushing with reviews. I think I can do it. I think I can do every single review of this tournament, so fingers crossed for me. Now, we are finally here. We're finally here where we have for our main event New Japan putting the climax in G1 Climax by giving us, for the first time ever, the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita, going against our front man, and the front man in my heart, Zack Sabre Jr. Now, we'll get to that in a moment, because obviously I gotta keep things in order, but we'll get to that in a moment. I had debated going to bed early and then waking up early so I could watch the tournament live. But I thought about it, I was like, nah, I'll just use up the company time and watch it during work. Like, why not? Why not, right? So I didn't stay up, and I just watched it during work. And I have to say, like, there were, especially the block matches, there was a lot of intensity going on, where at times I had to put some clients on hold and just be like, girl, hold on for a minute, so I could yell at my TV. That's neither here or there. Now, let's talk about the tag matches. We started off with Yota Tsuji teaming up with Daiki Nagai to go against Masatoru Yoshida and Taichi. Taichi, for the first time, I think, in this entire tournament, has finally been able to come out there and sing the whole damn song without anyone interrupting him and attacking him for the fuck of it. And it's so funny because Tsuji is literally standing in the middle of the ring while Taichi is singing. He is like not even a whole palm away from Taichi's face while he's singing, and it looks like as if Tsuji thinks that Taichi's singing this song to him, like serenading him or something. I'm like, y'all going out after this? Like, what's going on here? Very interesting. The tag matches, let me just say, like, it just is what it is. It's supposed to get you hyped up for the next block matches, and truly, for the most part, I would say like 80% of the time, it doesn't get me hyped for the next matches. It's just there. But I will say that when the young lions are in these matches, these are really great exposure for them, that I feel like a lot of people I've seen throughout this tournament kind of complaining about the tag matches, but it's still great exposure for these young guys, especially during the most important tournament in professional wrestling. So it's good for them, but to be honest with you, it's just taking up a little bit of time. Now, Yota Tsuji's team ends up taking the win. Daiki ends up taking the win via submission, which is okay with me. We're going to get Yota Tsuji to go against Taichi tomorrow night. Well, no, not tomorrow night. It's August 1st, so there's 31 days in July, and that will be for Block A. Let's talk about our second tag match of the night. So our second tag match of the night, we have Kazuya Morishima teaming up with our president, the only president we acknowledge, President Tanahashi, to go against Sho Mikado and Yuya Uemura. Didn't hype me up for the next match. Well, you know what? The match itself didn't, but I'll throw out a little fact in a moment. Young Lions obviously, understanding the assignment and pretty much taking the pressure off of Yuya and our president so they can have their little TV time, and we end up having Yuya's team end up taking the win, which is okay with me. Now, what I do want to say here is that there's an interesting fact of President Tanahashi, who has obviously been in God knows how many G1 tournaments, who is right now, as of right now, 99 wins within the whole history of the tournament. And his I don't want to say his next match, but with him having about, 5 more matches left of the tournament. Not 5. 4 more matches, I want to say. He's guaranteed to win 1 more match so he can have 100 wins in the tournament, and I believe that would be more than anyone else who's ever participated in the G1 Climax. So that's very interesting. I know he'll be able to get it, but he ain't winning the damn tournament. That much we know. Our third match, we have United Empire, which is Cullum Newman and Jacob Austin Young, going against Sanada and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Y'all already know what's up. House of Torture, just cheating. United Empire, they gave a chance to even walk out to the ring, and they got beat up. And when they finally get into the ring, literally House of Torture freaking conveniently make sure that the referee gets hurt. The referee's supposed to be dead for a couple of seconds while Kanemaru ends up drinking up, well, not drinking, but putting whiskey in his mouth and spitting it into Jacob's eyes for the win. It's literally the same situation every night. Now, I typically side with the heels, and at times I'm just like, you know what? Maybe we should just think of it as in House of Torture. It's a group of people that are friends, and they always look out for each other. And why not have friends that look out for each other? I would accept that if they were cheating in different ways every night. Like, I would literally be like, all right, they did something creative, they did something different than last time, I'm cool with it. But it's literally the same thing where it's just like, shouldn't everybody just be on notice and just be like, hey, I see what you're doing, we've been watching the show too, we're not just participating, but we're watching, and we're coming for you, and we're ready. And it just seems like no one's ready. So the same old tricks is working with everybody over and over again. Something about that I just don't care for. Now, after this, we do have Rohei Oiwa teaming up with Hartley Jackson to go against House of Torture. We got Evil teaming up with Dick Togo. And yes, Don Fale is ringside making sure that he does what he can for his boys. Now, for me, I am just like, so don't watch this and know exactly where this is going. Okay, cool. Yes, we get interference again. Don Fale is just, I'm just like, bro, put the fucking boots on and just get in the ring then at this point, because you're literally involved in every single thing that's going on. You might as well get in the ring and wrestle. And interesting enough, Hartley Jackson actually is like the only person who's been paying attention to this damn tournament, and was just like, that shit that y'all been doing this entire tournament, y'all not gonna get one on me. And Hartley Jackson ends up taking the win for TMDK. And I'm just like, finally, somebody who's fucking paying attention to this damn tournament and ends up taking the win. I'm kind of fucking over it. But we got Evil going against Rohei Oiwa for Block A. And that's going to be pretty interesting. Now, we have one more tag match before we get into the Block B matches. So we do have Toru Yano teaming up with Boltin Oleg to go against our War Dogs, our dogs for real, David Finlay and Geto. This was okay. I liked how, for whatever reason, David Finlay kind of stops what he's doing and dances in the ring, putting his middle finger up and everything. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's different. That's a little different for a Wednesday. Okay, we'll take it. And the little dance moves ain't enough for a win. Referee and these fucking ref bumps out of nowhere in their horrible acting ends up being exactly what Toru Yano needed to give Geto a fucking low blow, crushed his nuts for the win. And I was just like, you know what? A win is a win, right? So we'll just take it for what it is. And I thought it was strange because after the match, Boltin Oleg, who probably should have been maybe upset at Toru Yano about that, but he ends up chasing David Finlay backstage, and I was like, well, why are you chasing him? Like, what did he do? They lost. Whatever the situation is, I don't know. Let's talk about Block B. First match, we have the Great Okan going against El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo's strategy going into this was be aggressive as fuck, and that will get me the win. And it was really great to see him more in aggressive light, because it's kind of interesting because it doesn't necessarily make you a heel because you're being aggressive, but I felt like this was a different vibe for him. And especially with how things have been going in the tournament, you can see like certain wrestlers are definitely taking up a notch, like their intensity, depending on who they're in the ring with, because they really want to get that win. The crowd, they all had their signs and their glow sticks and their like little light up LED boards that says El Phantasmo, I love El Phantasmo, whatever the hell they were saying. And then all of a sudden you see El Phantasmo just throwing Great Okan all over the damn building and everything. And I was just like, okay, that might work out for you. But it doesn't. Great Okan ends up taking the win. And I thought that was very interesting. El Phantasmo, I was expecting for him to be one of the guys with like probably the most points. I ain't saying winning. We ain't saying all that. But I thought he was going to make it pretty high up in the competition in terms of the points. And he's had some of the best matches in this tournament, but he fell short this time. So Great Okan has 8 points. Now after this, we have Ren Narita going against Drilla Maloney. Lord have mercy. That's just a, oh Lord. Anyway, obviously House of Torture is there. And they attacked Drilla before he can even fucking make it to the ring. Like, the jacket and everything was still on. And I was just like, girl, don't even complain. We're used to it at this point. We're just going to let it ride because there's nothing we can do. And when they finally get him into the ring, referee is just like, well, none of all that shit that just happened don't even matter. Is all that matters what's happening in the ring now. Which is interesting because it's just like, you do know that people are cheating even after the bell has rung, right, ref? Obviously, it doesn't know. And within minutes, we have our boy Drilla leaking of blood on his forehead. That pretty little face of his already getting all fucked up, covered in blood. And to be honest with you, due to Kanemaru being out there and ready for whatever, I'm just like, all right, well, Drilla's not winning. It was nice knowing you, bruv. And I had to say, like, one of my favorite moves that I've seen, probably kind of basic to be honest with you, but one of my favorite moves that I've seen so far in this tournament was Ren. He goes on to the top rope and he goes to give Drilla a drop kick, but Drilla catches him into and counters it into a sit-down powerbomb. Like, all that happened like within the same second. I don't know how to explain it, but I just thought that was just so fucking sexy. I was just like, oh my god, this is the type of shit that I love seeing in the ring. It was just executed beautifully. Now, obviously with Kanemaru out there, referee mysteriously gets hurt and he's laid out outside the ring, and it's not looking good for our boy, unfortunately. Now, we do have Drilla, who is kind of maybe a little bit prepared, knowing that House of Torture just whooped his ass before the match started and been whooping everyone else's ass throughout this whole competition. And he was on his P's and Q's and making sure he was paying attention. And he even goes and crushes the nuts of Ren Narita, and that helps him take the win and gives our boy Drilla 4 points. I did say in my last video that I don't understand, like, why is it that all these factions are not coming together even at some point, at any point, to just try to stick up with each other, because they know that House of Torture is out there doing the most. And for me, this was a situation that War Dogs could have just been like ringside, just to make sure, even if it was just one of them, to just be out there just to make sure that Drilla was going to be good. Like, I don't know why we're not seeing any of these other factions doing this. Something about that is just so weird. It really just makes it seem like the company itself is just like, we just want House of Torture to do shenanigans and we want no one to be able to do anything about it. And honestly, that's not realistic at all. Up next, we have Shingo Takagi going against Shota Umino. This was a very interesting match because, like, almost as soon as it got started, Shingo had problems with that right leg. The entire match, he's limping, holding on to it. Referee checking up on him like, baby, you okay? You okay? You want me to stop the match? Let my son win? Obviously, wrestlers didn't do that, but you know what I mean. And it really didn't look good for Shingo from the very beginning. And Shota, obviously noticing that. And that's the thing, like, as a wrestler, you having a match, whatever it is, if you find somebody in the street, I don't know, if you see that they're hurting somewhere, you have to take advantage of that. And that's the way you're going to be able to win, by taking advantage of attacking that area where you know that they are having pain. And sometimes, you know, you just make it a dead giveaway by you not being able to control yourself and not holding on to that knee and letting everyone know that you're in pain. You see the aggressiveness from Shota Umino. And I have to say, the other day, I was literally looking at pictures of Shota from the past few years. And I'm just like, baby, what happened? Like, what happened? He looked good because he looked like he'd been at the gym lately. But I'm just saying, overall, he's not even at his best right now, like, at all. But I do see the improvements with Shota these past few matches. So he's doing much better. Now, honestly, I felt like he was going to end up taking the win. But somehow, some way, Shingo wins. So his finisher is called what is it called? Burning Dragon, which is like a lariat. And a lariat it's not a finisher for me. It's not a finisher for me. It just made me feel like it was a weak finish. It was more of a Shota took advantage of this leg injury while Shingo been fucking limping, but trying his best. He did try his best throughout the whole match. And then here is Shingo for the very last second of the match hitting a lariat for the win. And I was just like, it's not enough. It's just not enough. So for me, the finish was weak. Shingo Takagi with 4 points on the board. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for, our main event for the first time ever, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Konosuke Takeshita. This was a very interesting match. Is one of those girl pull your panties to the side type of situation, and yes, I was ready. I thought it was so interesting how like in like 2 minutes Takeshita gave that look of it, you know, like, oh, fuck around and find out type of thing. Like he gave that look like, I just fucked around and I'm about to find out. His first time going against Zack Sabre Jr. So, you know, it's one thing when you're watching someone all the time going against other people, but another situation when it's you literally getting into that ring. And that look in his face was like, whatever strategy I came in here with, we need to change the plans. Now, what I thought was interesting was that Zack, you can see him be, it's like he's his usual self, but you can see like he also is letting, like he's like, this match is a message for everyone in this damn tournament that I haven't faced yet, and even the ones that I have, to let everyone know that I am still on my A game. I am still that dude. I am the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion for a reason, and he needed to use Takeshita as an example, and he did. I honestly thought, I was like, all right, 30-minute time limit. They're going to give us that 30-minute. We're going to get a draw. That was my thought process on this whole entire time, which personally I would not have been happy about. And then I thought, like, best case scenario, to be honest with you, despite me loving Zack so much, Zack Sabre Jr. give me a call, I wanted to see Takeshita win. Because honestly, like, does it fucking matter if Zack wins in terms of points? In terms of points, not really. Zack Sabre Jr. had twisted up, twirled up Takeshita in every way you could possibly think. And honestly, I wish it was me. And Takeshita, like, he gave a really great fight, but Zack was really making an example out of him, which was very interesting to me, which I did not expect at all. The chemistry between the two of them was great, but this will not be the match that defined the two of them in terms of in the future matches that they'll be able to have with each other. This is the first one, and Zack absolutely got the best out of Takeshita in every single way, which I was very surprised about. Zack Sabre Jr. puts Takeshita in a sleeper. So this was a little bit after he hits him with a Zack driver. And when I tell you, Takeshita just looked like, bitch, I know you didn't just hit me with a Zack driver. He just looked so surprised. He hits him with a sleeper and he's holding on and wouldn't let go for nothing. Takeshita, he's a big boy and he's strong and he's able to get to his feet while Zack still has those lovely arms around his neck. And then he climbs up to the top rope and he kind of, I don't want, maybe like a coffin drop type of situation with Zack onto his back onto the mat so that Zack can hit himself onto the mat when he falls down. And Zack, he slightly lets go of the sleeper, but he's able to rearrange himself and get right back to that sleeper. And then Takeshita is just looking like, shit, I'm fucked up right now. So now he goes in to try to get out of the sleeper in every single way that he can, and Zack is just like this fucking lion that is just lurking on his prey. He's like, no, I'm going to go for the kill and I'm going to eat you for dinner. And he literally just holds on, and you can see Takeshita really trying. He's really trying until he taps out. And our boy takes the L's. Oh my God. Now Zack Sabre Jr. has 6 points. Now, honestly, I hate to say like the wrong person won, but I still feel like in terms of the points and advancing, Takeshita could have used this, could have used these little 2 points. And Zack, who already has the title and what everybody in this tournament is looking to get, didn't necessarily need the points, but he needed for everyone to be like, hey, we need to watch out for this guy, because in this tournament, even as the World Heavyweight Champion, you are still taking L's here. And I think that people were probably looking at him in terms of maybe he's not the best if he's losing in this tournament. Now, Zach, he gets onto the mic after this and he says that he's the alpha. And then he goes on to say in English, because he was speaking Japanese at first. And then he goes on to say in English, he said, Takesha, I know your ass speak English, so I'm going to say it in English. And he goes, you may be the alpha, but I'm the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Dickhead. And I was like, that's so Zach to do. Call him a dickhead. Now, after the whole thing is over and Takesha leaves and Rocky Romero go running after him to check up on his friend, Zach does his, interview after the show. And he said that match, what I just did to Takesha, was literally for the whole locker room to see that I'm not fucking around. And whoever else is left for me to go against in this tournament, I am whooping your ass and I'm getting more points. And honestly, I believe him. I believe him. Absolutely believe him. After what I just saw, this was like a humbling thing for Takesha that he just went through, to be honest with you, based off of the performance itself. And it's so interesting. Like I said, I thought it was great. Personally, I can see from both ends in terms of Takesha needing the points, to get up higher up on the board, and then Zach, who's holding the championship and probably thinking everybody laughing at him back there and not taking him seriously, and he needed this win to prove a point, and he sure as hell did tonight. Really great matchup. But I know we're going to get more from these two at some point, and they'll be better. I'm sure it will be. This is one of those situations where Takesha will have more experience in the ring and will be able to apply those experiences the next time he goes against Zack Sabre Jr. So where are we right now with the points? I'll tell you. So as of right now, we have for Block A, Yota Tsuji with 8 points. And then for 6 points, we have Evil, Bolton Oleg, Oiwa, and Yuya Uemura with 6 points. We got Taichi with 4, President Tanahashi, and Club Newman with 4, and Sonata as well. And then with 2 points, we have David Finlay. David, baby, I don't know what's going for you right now. And then for Block B, we have with 8 points, we have Yoshihashi, Ren Narita, and Drilla Maloney, and the Great Okan with 8 points. So we got 5 people with 8 points at this point. So it's looking good for certain people, but you never know what's going to go at this point because there's still a few more matches for everybody to go. And for 6 points, we have Zack Sabre Jr. and Takeshita and Shota Umino. And then with 4 points, we have El Phantasmo and Shingo Takagi. And of course, our boy Gabe Kidd is injured. It has nothing. Still a really interesting tournament. A lot of great stuff going on, but we still have slightly over half of it left to look forward to. So keep checking it out because I think it's going to get better from here. Well, at least I hope so. At least I hope so. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back with AEW, Ring of Honor, and everything else that I'm covering. See you guys then. Bye.